They're wearing a fucking armored butt. They have an armor padded butt. Oh, good morning. It is a good morning today, because today is Friday. It is the last Friday before school starts over here, and I'm kind of excited to start school again, but not really. Gotta wake up at 4, not super pumped about that. Gotta be asleep by 8. And lately, I have not been able to go to sleep before midnight, so that's kind of an issue. I've been trying to ease myself into going to bed early, but I guess we'll just have to trial by fire this motherfucker, you know what I mean? So today's chest day. Very, very excited for that. I'm always excited to go to the gym, dude. We'll see what kind of gains we've made thus far. Now remember, we're tracking everything in our little notebook. After the workout, as I overlay it on my screen here, I'll talk about kind of like what we did and what I need to work on and what the fucking goddamn this and that. But on the way there, I wanted to talk about something. So I had a friendly stranger in the comments. You know who you are. We were discussing kids. And if kids these days are really just that shitty. No, they're not. They're actually really awesome if they're allowed to be, I guess. So let's talk parenting. Now, I'm no parenting guru, nor do I feel like it's super appropriate to tell people how to raise their children. But I can tell when you're fucking up. It's very obvious, because your kids suck. But that probably means that you suck too. And so it's usually a hard pill to swallow, you know, being told, hey, you're not doing a great thing. It's like, so this might sound insensitive, but I don't give a fuck. Kids are like dogs. Let's take dogs, because you can tell a lot about somebody's parenting style by the way they raise their dogs. Well, Tango, what the fuck do you mean? How are kids like dogs? It's very simple. Kids and dogs share the same emotional intelligence until they're about 5, right? Now there's outliers, it's just the average. Now, not just emotional intelligence, they share logical intelligence as well up until the age of like 3. Ish. Now, let's take your dog. Let's say you get a dog, you get a puppy, and you let your puppy do whatever the fuck they want. Well, they're gonna piss in the house, shit in the house, they're gonna chew the carpet, chew your shoes, they're gonna jump up on visitors. When you have visitors come through the door, first thing they do is jump on them. Well, you're not doing a very good job of training your dog, are you? Your dog's gonna do whatever the fuck it wants to do. And then when you try to tell your dog, yo, stop doing that, they're gonna look at you like, bitch, who the fuck are you? Now, I'm not saying that violence is a good thing, except, well, I think violence has its place. It's important to remember, you know, it doesn't matter if you are a religious person or a scientific person. Not to say that they're two completely different things, but I mean, whatever. We still have instincts. We still have very base level things that we do, right? For example, pheromones. Just smell. We can get turned on to somebody just from the smell, right? So take that and apply it to our kids and our dogs. Since kids and dogs don't understand what you're saying, or don't understand that there is a like a reason you're saying something, because we can see ahead. Let's say a dog is hanging from the drapes or something. Well, we know if he hangs there long enough, or is you know, aggressive enough, the drapes are gonna break, and then they're gonna fall, and then they could fall on the dog, hurt the dog, or just property damage happens, right? Same can be said for like your kid rummaging through the knife drawer. They don't know, because they can't think ahead, because they don't have the experience that, hey, if I fuck around in this knife drawer, I'm gonna cut myself, or I could cut myself. If I jump on the bed, I could fall and break my neck, something, right? So you gotta tell your kids, fucking stop. And you have to be firm. I mean, I'm not saying cuss, but if you try to talk to them and explain, they don't really understand. That's why I don't like this soft parenting stuff. You get down on their level and say, sweetie, listen. You know, that might work in some aspect, but if you're really trying to hammer a point home, you gotta get a little bit mean. Now, I'm not saying be mean, but come across as a way that the kid won't forget. The dog won't forget. Now, with dogs, you can, you know, get them, like fucking Caesar says. Just get them. But you know, you gotta know when to crack the whip, is like what I like to say. You gotta know when to get stern, and you gotta be a little mean sometimes. And it's not like you don't like the kid. It's not like you're trying to be mean. You're doing it out of love. You're trying to hammer a point home, and it's in their best interest. So if they're young and they're not really, you know, listening to you, you gotta get in them, in their face, and in their face, and be, listen, hey, you keep doing that, I'm gonna spank you, right? They don't understand. And I've said it before in another video like a month or two ago, like sometimes you gotta be a little bit violent because it's a primal thing. Your kids might not understand anything except a little bit of fucking primal violence. And I'm not saying punch your kid. I'm not saying get crazy and abuse your children. There's a difference between abusing and spanking. Sometimes a slap on the back of the hand is enough. It's not painful, right? They might feel like, ow, you know, yeah, it might have hurt, it might have stung a little bit, but do you understand? Yeah, I understand. I won't do it again, or I'll get smacked. I'll get a spanking. I hope I'm not very eloquent. I've never been accused of being eloquent, and I've never claimed to be eloquent, but the point I'm trying to make is kids are dumb. Kids are dumb because they don't know. They haven't been around long enough to know that there are consequences to their actions. And so as a parent, it is up to us to tell them in some fashion and express the point that, hey, what you're doing right now is dangerous and I'm not going to allow it. That's not allowed in my house. So, another one. Your kid is throwing a tantrum because they didn't get what they want. Well, I'll tell you right now, you fucked up, right? You fucked up somewhere, because you have given your kid everything they want when they want it, because you're probably lazy, or you're afraid of your child. Which I understand that part, because, you know, up until very recently, it's just been you and maybe your significant other, and you've never interacted with children before, and you're afraid to be mean, to get in there and really just yell at them. Sometimes you've got to. And so now you're in public, and your kid wants that Lego set, and it's just not either in the budget, or you're just like, no, we're not. No, you got a toy earlier today or yesterday or whatever. They're not used to being told no, and when you do tell them no, they freak out, because in the past it's worked. So they want that toy really bad. And last time they threw a temper tantrum, you caved and gave it to them. Here's a good point, or like a anecdote. My wife was with one of her friends. Husband's not in the picture anymore. 3 kids, and they were headed into town, and the kids wanted to listen to music. They wanted to, they wanted mom to be the DJ. And so they're up front talking, and they're like, listen, no, we're not, we'll have music on, but we're not going to do this whole like DJ thing. And so halfway down into town, they start complaining, oh, I want to listen to this song, even though they were just told, hey, we're not doing that right now. We're not doing that today. Bitch, moan, complain about it all the way to the store. Well, my wife went into one store, ran in just for a second, and when she came out, the song that they were asking for was playing. Now, standalone, that's no big deal. But she put her foot down earlier, or at least made it seem like she put her foot down earlier, that, hey, we're not doing this whole DJ thing. What's on is what we're listening to. Well, she went against that and played the song that they asked for. So what that means is that those kids are going to interpret that as, well, if I bitch at mom long enough, she'll cave and she'll play it. She'll do what I want her to do. And then that just reinforces that behavior. It's not going to get any better from there. They're just going to get worse. They're gonna push it and push it farther and farther and farther, until next thing you know, they're Karens at the grocery store. They didn't get what they wanted, and they're throwing a fucking hissy fit at the register at checkout. Now, is that the same for everybody? No, some people don't act like that all the time or ever. But there's 3 of them. 1 out of those 3 is guaranteed to become a Karen or Ken. I promise you. Hold on real quick. Let me run in here and grab a little nicotine pouch for my gym workout time. Is that you shouldn't be afraid to be stern and strict with your children, because if we look back at our own childhood, and dad was such a fucking asshole to us, but hey, we learned some serious fucking lessons, didn't we? There's some things I say let the kid learn on their own. And that's going to be like with boys. They're outside swinging fucking tree branches around. Fucking let them figure out that, hey, like, maybe warn them, but let them figure out that, hey, you keep doing that, you're going to fucking get smacked in the face. So you're going to get hurt. Oh, be careful. All right. No, you won't. You'll be careful after you learn that lesson. But my dad was pretty strict. I can remember a handful of times where he actually cracked me on the backside with the belt. It wasn't a lot, because I learned my lessons quick, because if I didn't, oh, Dad was going to be pissed. Dad was going to lose it. Now, we can, as we grow up and as we have our own kids, we can take those lessons and modify them. Let's say those leadership strategies. We can maybe modify them and maybe say, well, instead of taking that fucking wooden spoon and beating my knuckles with it, or beating my kids' knuckles with it, maybe I'll just spank them with it, right? Because the knuckle thing fucking hurt. My son learned very early in his life that as soon as mom and dad got pissed off, the next step, if he kept pushing it, was he's going to get whooped. And listen, with a diaper on, a spanking does not hurt. But it scares them enough that they're going to say, oh, fuck. Dad gets mad, he's going to hit me. It doesn't hurt. They're wearing a fucking armored butt. They have an armor padded butt. But it's the principle that scares them. It's the, fuck, dad's mad at me. I don't like it when dad's mad at me because he yells. And it's scary. And he might hit my butt. We're not trying to hurt our kid. We're trying to help them. But to answer your question, stranger, kids aren't shitty. It's parents that are shitty. Shitty parents breed shitty kids. And the only way to get over that is to stop being a shitty parent. So, chest day, baby. Fucking excited about it. Always excited for chest day. Get those big boy breasts. Very excited for big boy breasts. So follow along, tag along with me, and let's see what we can get into.